are here to take our unlimited potential, God, and create something that has never existed before. I want you to just take a moment just to think about that. The uniqueness of you is unique throughout the universe. There's not another you. There will never be another you. Not the you that expresses right now, because you're not the you that you were when you were a teenager or a toddler or an infant. And you won't be the you projected going forward 10 years from now. You won't be the you that's you right now. So you're here to create. You're here to use this potential of God to create something that has never existed before. We'll talk about this later when we start getting more into the seminar. But you have the opportunity at this moment to ask yourself the question, what do you want to create now? That was been based upon what you've experienced. What do you want to create now? See, the sole purpose is to create and manifest the goodness and the attributes of God in your unique way. See, but we've been hoodwinked and bamboozled to believe otherwise. In Lessons in Truth, H. Emily Cady has a quote, and I love it, and I say it all the time because it can't be said enough. She says in the first chapter, Bondage and Liberty, which the first paragraph, all men believe themselves to be in bondage to the flesh and the things of the flesh. All suffering is the result of this belief. Now, they're like, wait a minute. That statement is the whole human condition. You see, sometimes we read past the thing and don't realize the depth of a statement. All men, people, humankind, believe, accept as true themselves, not just me, you too, to be in bondage, which is slavery, to the flesh. In other words, the human condition. And the things of the flesh, the human condition. All, not some, not on the west side, not on the south side, not on the north side, not on the west coast, not on the east coast, not in Australia, not in Japan, not in the North Pole, not in the South Pole. All suffering. And what is suffering? Perceived injury. It doesn't have to be actualized. Suffering is perceived injury. Let me be clear on that. Perceived. All suffering is the result. What is a result? It's an outcome, right? All suffering is the result or the outcome or the effect of this belief. Acceptance is true. See, meeting myself as you means you got to get, first of all, to know you so you can recognize you when you show up. That's why I'm doing these fundamentals first. I believe at some level of life that I'm in bondage to this human condition. There's only so much money. There's only so much health. Nobody has peace. There's always a problem to fix. I never will have enough love, enough peace, enough of something. We always think we're running out, or we lack something that we have to go to somebody else to get. Let's just be honest. See, sometimes, what religion does is it gives us another mask to put on the mask that we were wearing in the first place. It's just another layer of the lie. Told you I wasn't holding back. It's another layer of the lie. You go to religion to get the lie removed, and they just give you another lie to put on. Now, look, religion is my profession. It's like family. You can't talk about them, but I can. If you're not careful, you just pick up another lie. See, self-evaluation and self-transformation only comes through understanding, as Socrates says, that an unexamined life is not worth living. If you haven't examined what makes you tick, then you don't know why you're doing what you do, which we're going to talk about in a moment. But I want you to get the point. If you don't understand that you're here to create something new, you're not here to recycle what your parents taught you. You're not here to recycle what your neighborhood taught you, or what you learned on TV or radio or whatever. Steve Jobs is an excellent example of this. Steve Jobs created stuff that nobody had ever seen before against what people told him would work, because they were about recycling what worked. He was about creating newness. What we only remember in human history, those who do one or two things: create newness or do devastation. And because so many people don't know that they're here to do create newness, guess what option they choose? Anyway, so we're here to manifest our unlimited potential to transform our lives and others. So you're not here just for you. You're here to transform the experience so others can benefit from your creation. Think about it again. Reverend Coleman, through her healing in the early 50s, created a ministry that was prepared for you before you were on this plane of existence to benefit from it. See, when you manifest your unlimited potential and transform your life, you help others transform theirs. You don't have to be a minister to do that, because you're already a spiritual being, and a spiritual being's job is to express God. And how can God being expressed ever be a bad thing? It can't, unless you have a concept of God that's erroneous and not worthy of the Most High. I call that the smackdown God. Y'all know what the smackdown God is. You all grew up with the smackdown God. You do something, smack down. Say the wrong thing, smack down. Go to the wrong church, smack down. Everything's a sin. Checking the list, checking it twice, want to make sure you're naughty and nice. That God. See, but that's not how it works, y'all. You're here to show up, to manifest your good and transform your life so other people can be transformed through your example and through your expression. And for somebody to be able to say, wow, if it transformed their lives at this level, maybe my life can be transformed. You take a person like a Martin Luther King, who's telling people in the civil rights movement, we're going to change how America functions for people of color. I see it differently. Now, you got to realize what he was asking people to do. He was asking people to leave home, leave families at times, leave jobs and experiences, march with the threat of being beaten or killed. But he was so transformed that his transformation became contagious. And it affected others to follow him and make a change and shift in the consciousness, not only of the United States, but of the world. Now, where did he get that idea from? He got it from Gandhi, who told him the British soldiers might shoot you if you walk down to these mines, salt mines. But his idea was so contagious, his transformation was so contagious. You're seeing over now in the Middle East, people saying, well, we could be free too. What is it? It's the same idea. People in Egypt and several of these other Middle Eastern countries who are now saying, we don't have to live like we've lived before. You're seeing pushback all over the world because transformed life inspires others to live transformed lives. That's what it's about. So don't try to put your transformation in your old life. That's why I put the scripture in here. It says, Jesus, and no one puts new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the wines will burst the skins and the wine is lost. We still on page 1. And so are the skins, but one puts new wine in fresh wineskins. Stop trying to fit your newness into your oldness. Stop trying to make what you are developing and evolving to fit into the dynamics of other people. You can't make other people do what you want them to do in the first place. You can argue all you want. You can fuss all you want. You can get mad all you want. You can toss as many tables as you want. But realize that all of those things are control mechanisms, and you're running a racket on them and they're running a racket on you. Bottom line. Because when it's all that's said and done and you all make peace and lovey-lovey again, guess what? Nothing's changed. But when you transform, you don't engage in foolishness. As Paul, he said, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I understood as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Many of us are adults acting childish in how we talk and how we act with people. You say something to a child, they don't like it, they shut down. Do you shut down when people say stuff you don't like? That's a child. A child doesn't have a voice. Do you throw tantrums when things don't go your way? Grown-up tantrums? That's a child. Do you look for things to make the pain go away? Children want candy, they want pop, and they want snacks and whatever. We substitute that with alcohol. We substitute that with drugs. We substitute that with sex. That's a child. It's a child. You can't put your new transformation in the old or it'll corrupt it. That's why many times people who do become spiritual, religious, and all of that type of stuff end up falling back so many times because they try to incorporate the oldness with the new. No. Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Your dream is not for the now you, it's for the potential you. If you don't want to get that, then you'll get stuck where you are.